So my name's Schmerlaib. I'm the Managing Director of Integrated Aviation Software, and we're an ISV partner with Yellowfin. We use Yellowfin as a module that we, pretend like it's ours. So we've rebadged it and use it to display canned reports and provide extra information for our existing customers. Okay, so our product is specifically for the engineering and maintenance side of aviation companies. So typically our customers are a small to medium sort of enterprise, so not at a national carrier level, at a regional level. And we've used Yellowfin to access data. So we effectively use a data warehouse, extract data out of our application into a relational database backend, and use Yellowfin to provide some specific reporting and add some extra features that we actually can't provide in our existing application. So one of the reasons that we chose Yellowfin was we're a small software company ourselves, and in the past dealing with some of the larger vendors, and when I went to look at, we typically provided lower level reporting type tools, if that's the way to describe them. So you can use SQL query tools, and we had an application, we had a module that allowed our users to do that, but they either lacked the resources, the sophistication or the time to be able to utilise those fully. So we wanted something that was easy to use for the end user and easier for us to deal with. So if you're like a partner that would understand us, understand that we deal in software, and we're easy to work with. And so that pretty much ruled out 90% of the people already, and that's how we ended up with Yellowfin. The reason that I didn't want to build it ourselves is because it's not our key market. Our key, if you like, what we specialise in isn't building BI tools. So in theory it is writing software, so we could go and do that. But it's the same reason that, 20 years ago when we first started out, we wrote our own bug tracking tool. We don't do that anymore. We we use a third-party tool to do that. It's not an efficient use of our time or resources, which are limited, to rewrite a BI tool when we've got a number of different providers out there. It just didn't make any sense. We're better off spending our time, which is what we're doing, providing the value add around our application. So we understand how all the data hangs together. We understand where there are problems within it. So the smarts that we provide in terms of the BI solution is the data warehousing side of things, where we know where the data might perhaps have some issues, and we can clean that on the way out and provide and use Yellowfin as the back end, the solution provider, and we provide the smarts around the canned reports, an understanding of our data, and the industry knowledge about what would interest our customers. We chose Yellowfin after not a cursory look at the market. There were three main reasons, if I can summarise them. One of them is that because part of our offering and key for us is a service, and we provide support for our customers. And the last thing I wanted to do is to have to learn 5 different pieces of a stack. And after looking around at various different vendors, if I wanted to do all the things that Yellowfin offers, I'd have to understand 5 or 6 different things to get them all working and talking together. And if I then had to translate to our customers, some of which use English as a second, third language, and troubleshoot those from a different geographical location, it just proved too difficult. So that was one main reason. One is I'm slightly biased, so I'd like to support Australian-based software companies. So that pretty much rules out everybody else. And more importantly is the ease of use. I didn't want to spend too much time trying to set it up and get all the pieces of the jigsaw puzzle together. So hence ended up with Yellowfin. Yes, I guess what appealed to me also within dealing with Yellowfin was that they understood. I was able to speak with our contact at Yellowfin, and they understood our licensing arrangement, and I didn't have to change what we did to fit the way that they worked. Whereas with some of the other people that I looked at, you could have any method of licensing you like, so long it was this one. Whereas for me to roll, if you like, and make Yellowfin look like and act like and be licensed like what we do was really a really simple exercise, which I wasn't looking forward to at all, but turned out to be particularly painless. Okay, so there are a couple of things that within our application, one of the things that we do is an inventory system. And so typically what ours is like any other inventory system with some unique things around the aviation industry. And one of the things that customers, particularly finance people, have asked us to say, what was my stock at a point in time, which isn't now? And our application deals with, if you've got this in stock and you issue it out to go onto an aircraft, it's gone. And we were finding it particularly difficult to say, well, what happened however many months ago. Now, with the ability to warehouse and use Yellowfin, I can take a snapshot at each point in time and say, okay, so as at midnight for the customers, this is what our stock position was. And these are the transactions that had happened during the day. And I can provide a reconciliation from any point, assuming everything's worked out, any point from one day to the next of what's happened in their stock position. It's a feature that I couldn't offer beforehand, for which I've had to do really relatively no development work whatsoever. So it plays great with the financial people, and in the end, if they're signing the check and you can get them to sign to understand that value, then you're halfway there, or 90% of the way there. The things that I find really work well and really impress the clients is the drill down, drill through, the drill capabilities within Yellowfin, which are particularly difficult in other areas, and the customers seem to get straight away. So a lot of them, and particularly within our industry, where there's a standard joke, you know, if you're selling an aircraft, it doesn't go unless the amount of paper that goes with it equals the same weight of the aircraft, where you print out thousands and thousands of spreadsheets. If you're looking from a macro perspective, typically what happens is, a good example is in reliability. So we map the reliability of the components on the aircraft, so how often they fail as to how long they run. You look at that and say there's a problem in a particular area, and typically they have a reliability meeting, they'll look at that and they'll say, yes, we have a problem in this particular area, why? Next meeting, come back and find out why. Whereas we've set up some reports where you can say we have a statistical measurement, we're outside, there's an alert level here, and you can drill down through that to the actual, why was this part removed? Is it going to the same supplier? Do we have a problem with the supplier? Do we have a problem with who installed it? All of this information we track. You couldn't get that out before without asking. What Yellowfin now provides the customers is the ability to answer the question as it's being asked, as opposed to taking a month to go find the data later on.